Welcome to our kitchen. Today we have some active sourdough. So I'm going to show you what this looks like. See how jiggly it is? Nice and bubbly. Hopefully you can see that. I've already made a loaf of bread, so I have quite a bit extra. I used to do it in a smaller container, but now I do this because I like to make more. So today we're going to do cinnamon rolls. First thing we're going to do is get our flour. And what I like to do, I don't want to, there's already one in there. I don't like to dip this down in because I don't want to compact that flour. So the way that I do it is putting the flour in until it's overfilled. Then I use a simple butter knife. I tap it and then clean it off, and that's one. All right, the next step is we need to get some warm water, and I just use tap water. But don't make it too hot. You just want it warm. And we need to get a half a cup. All right, you see here I have a half a cup of warm water. Now I want to add this active starter, and we're going to make it so that, well, first off, I want you to see how that's floating? That's telling you that that is nice and active, and we're going to keep adding until we have it equal a total of a cup between active starter and the water. If you go a little over, it's okay. Just a little bit more. And we're ready. Now the next thing we're going to add to the flour itself is we're going to do 1 teaspoon of baking soda. We're going to do 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Then we're going to add a half a teaspoon of salt. Then we're going to go ahead and mix that up. The coconut goes in next, which is coconut oil. You need to make sure that you melt this down and let it cool, so this is not hot going in here. That's a half a cup. Then we're going to put in a half a cup of honey. And last, we're going to add in our mixture of the water and active starter. Use a dough hook and get started. Now that we mix the majority of it together, we're going to go ahead and put in 2 eggs. this up. Now that we kneaded it for quite a while, I want to see what the stretchiness is of it. It's still breaking, so it needs to be kneaded more. I'm going to take this out and do it by hand. Alright, a tip for you too is instead of using this for the powdered sugar, I like to put flour in it, so that when I dust my countertop, I can do it pretty easily and I don't get clumps of it. We're going to take this out of the bowl and I'm going to knead it by hand because I need it to be more pliable than this, and it's not doing it anymore with the hook. So I'm going to do it by hand until I get the consistency that I want. This is what you want to look for. See how it's stretching and it's not having holes in it or anything? That's exactly what you're looking for. So we're going to set this aside. I'm going to put a towel over it, and then we're going to make the filling. Now to make this filling, you're going to need 1 stick of butter, and it's got to be room temperature because it has to be creamed with the sugar. We're going to do 1 cup of sugar and 2, I do heaping tablespoons of cinnamon. And I like to use the paddle when I'm making it. Now we're going to start by putting the sugar in first. Then we're going to add the butter on top of that. And I like to cut it in cubes to help the mixing of it. And then, you know what, we're going to hold off on that because I want to cream this first. Now we can go ahead and add in the cinnamon and start it off slow. You don't want cinnamon going everywhere, and just let it go easy until all that is blended smooth. Now you can turn it up. And that's good. Nice and smooth. It's going to be easy to spread. All right, we're going to go ahead and cover this so that we can roll it out good. Let me make sure it's not sticking. Now that we have it rolled out in basically a rectangle shape, we're going to add in the cinnamon butter. You can use the back of a spoon to spread it out, but I find the easiest way is to get an offset spatula and do it just as if you were decorating and icing a cake. And you'll have a much easier time. Now we're going to take our fingers and we're going to start rolling. Keep it pretty tight. You don't have to like squeeze it together or anything like that. You want to just keep it evenly rolling. And then I pinch it together, and this is going to be the bottom. And then we're going to get a serrated knife. And the reason I use this is so that it goes through without ripping it or tugging at it. So you go in the middle. And look how beautiful that is. Then we're going to divide again. And divide again. Now before I put these in there, you can do one of two things. You can take the butter and just spread that all around, or you can take a spray, a nonstick spray, and spray the bottom of your cast iron. Make sure that you take that butter all the way up so that it doesn't stick. And then we're going to start placing them in. And I'm going to switch this out because this one's a little bit smaller. So I'm going to put that one in the middle so that the outside is more equal. And then I just press them down. Now that these are all set, look how great that looks. We're going to cover them and set them in a warm place and wait for them to raise a little bit. It's been about 45 minutes and those look pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and get these into the preheated oven that's at 350. We're going to check them after it's been about 20 minutes. All right, let's check these. It's been 20 minutes. They look really good, but I think that I am going to give them just a few more minutes, maybe 5. All right, the 5 minutes is up. I want to take these out. They look so good. But we're not done yet. Let these cool and we'll be right back. Now to finish this off, we waited till this was cool. I made up some simple icing, which is just milk and powdered sugar. And we're going to drizzle this over all of the rolls. There's a couple different things you can do to finish these off. You can do like me and just drizzle this. You can also make a cream cheese icing and put that on it as well. You can add some nuts to the top. Or you can even do something as simple as just sprinkling some powdered sugar. I want to thank you so much for joining me today in making these cinnamon rolls. These are one of my favorites. They remind me of that one franchise. You know who I'm talking about.